Welcome to being incarnated on planet Earth. You are now gifted with the supernatural abilities because of our planet passing through a sector of the universe that activates God DNA within every man, woman, child. You are the new keeper of the flames of love. You are the keepers of supernatural powers when you invoke I am. And you are the gatekeeper of miracles every day and every way. I salute you in the spirit of Ubuntu. Ashe.
Out a call to the warrior in you, to the healer in you, the king, the queen, the magician, the lover in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burden and anything that holds you back and take your rightful place. The battle is everywhere. It's right in your face. Let's go.
Welcome to magnets, crystals, and pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Remember, always who you are. Yes. Yes. I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am. Love, yes. Power. Yes. I am. Love, wisdom. Yes. I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am. Love, wisdom, power. Master. Yes. I am. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. I am. Say to yourself. Yes. I am. Protected. Yes. Yes. I am. Master. I am. Yes.
Welcome to Moorish Monday with Abdullah El Talib Mosi Bey. I have a wonderful guest, special guest tonight, our brother Khalil Ali Allah, also known as Malachi Fard. With a very thought-provoking topic, the root of esoteric masonry, the roots of esoteric masonry. Welcome to Magnets, Crystals, Pyramid, YouTube. I always want to give a special heart-warm thanks to Brother Hank. This has been over a year now. My second year. I'm in my second year of this being on this platform. Brother Hank is Brother Khalil in the behind stage. So you'll see across the screen my website, mooresandmasonry.org to get my books. Go to mooresandmasonry.org for the Masonic Compass and Square and the connection to measurement and timekeeping. For Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, the power of Moors and Masonry, the power of Moorish treaties, and the recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty, the Illuminati and the illumination of the mind, etymology and vocabulary, supplement you one, the Masonic Compass Square, the connection and measurement and timekeeping, how her Venus and Moon rule. Go to mooresandmasonry.org. Waiting for brother Khalil to come on. Once again, the topic is esoteric, the roots of esoteric masonry. So definitely want to, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. Also, hit the like button and invite others to come on. Blow that horn. Ooh, that we're on live and direct. All right. So as I wait for brother Khalil to come on, brother Robin Dean, if you're listening, reach out to brother Khalil for me. I was waiting for him. Is he in the chat? Is he in the behind stage, brother Hank? As we're waiting for him. So those who thank you for your support over this past year and joining me on Magnet, Crystals, Pyramid, YouTube, with Moorish Monday with Abdullah Il Talib Mosi Bey. If you hear me, brother Ramadan, text me. Send me something. Reach out to brother Khalil for me. Brother Hank. All right, he's coming now. All right, great. So once again, we'll have brother. All right, great. We'll have brother Khalil Ali Allah, also known as Malachi Fard. He's doing a thought provoking lesson on the roots of esoteric masonry. I'm very excited about the day's presentation. So once again, hit that subscribe button as well as the like button. Turn on and hit that notification bell so that you can get other wonderful shows. Brother Hank has shows throughout the course of the week. Also tune into those shows. Some very great guests that Hanks has had over the years. Look at the other videos that he's had. He's been doing this for a long time. Maliki Ford. Yes. Thank you, brother Ramadan. All right, so is brother, all right, here we come. Here he is.
No,
All right.
He's not here. He ain't in the queue. So you hold it down.
He's coming on. He's coming on because I just got the text from Ramadan. Ramadan just texted me about 2 minutes ago. All right, so as we wait for the brother, once again, you'll see across the screen my website, mooresandmasonry.org. Check out my books. Greatly appreciate the support over the years that you've shown. But this is for you, where you can enlighten yourselves and our people. Help me help raise the consciousness of our people. I've been at this for a long time. This is my 33rd year of being Moorish conscious. Over the last 6 years, I have really soared in proper concepts and understanding. So it's really been a mental explosion for me. You said, how can that be? Because as I said before, I was trapped in misconceptions for 25 years. So it's been a mental explosion for me over the past 6 years to be able to see things in its proper light, where that was not there before. Brother Ramadan. All right, so once again, I'm waiting for brother to come on. Is he backstage, Hank? Make sure he's on that he goes into the StreamYard. I'm here. Is he on? That make sure he's on that he clicks on the StreamYard, not the YouTube link, the StreamYard link. The StreamYard link. Send to the StreamYard link again. Make sure that's not the YouTube link. He has to click on the StreamYard link. All right, thank you. He's going to check. All right, so once again, my website be strolling across the stream during the course of the live broadcast. That's mooresandmasonry.org. So we just had last week. I had Brother Elkanan, who actually did the astronomy of Christmas, and it's as it relates to its correlation to Masonry. It was very good. Check that one out. He went very thorough with the math, which is needed, placing Masonry in its proper astronomical and mathematical application. You know, bringing what they call symbols, Masonic symbols. They're not symbols. They're astronomical measurement tools that deal with math and, timekeeping and measurements. They're not symbols. So, there's no symbols. There's no Masonic symbols. I don't know. I know the brothers they've been misdirected. The brothers and sisters have been misdirected into calling them symbols. They're not symbols. There's no Masonic symbols. The brothers don't wear Masonic symbols on no hats. They're not symbols. They wear measurement tools and devices on the hat. They don't wear symbols. There's no symbols. There's no Masonic symbols. There's no such thing as Masonic symbols. Masonic symbols don't exist. The brothers have been misorientated to call the measurement tools and devices symbols. But they're not symbols. The symbols don't exist. Brother Ramadean. All right, so once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to Moorish Monday with Abdullah Il Talib Mosi Bey. All right. Moorish Monday with Abdullah Il Talib Mosi Bey. And thank you for joining me on magnets, crystals, pyramid, YouTube. All right, Brother Elkanan is checking me out. Brother Elkanan, you did a wonderful job last week, man. And was it too much math, y'all? Was it too much math? Absolutely not. It's the math is needed because it cannot be done without the math. There's no charting without math. You can talk the astronomy all you want. It cannot be done without the math. There is no astronomy application without math. As Elkanan very well has shown us. So check out last week's video. Brother Elkanan, 33rd degree. Brother Elkanan Bey, 33rd degree. 97th degree past Grand Master, York Rights, King Solomon, Supreme Grand Lodge. So please check him out. He's on he'll be on every fourth Monday of the month. Brother Elkanan Bey, 33rd degree, 97th degree past Grand Master will be with us on Moorish Monday, every fourth Monday of the month. I'll be putting out a flyer regarding his presence every fourth Monday of the month. All right, because he has built a following And so that way people know that he'll be on every fourth Monday of the month. So I definitely, he and I have been riding together for 6 years. And he has really grown in history and law, treaty studies. He's growing in the area of legal principles, understanding the rule of law, constitutional governance. And so it's just to see his growth and development and being able and reaching out to our brothers and sisters, whereby we can reach out to tens of thousands of and hopefully hundreds of thousands of Masons, Angels, and Stars in different, not all in different parts of the world. So I'm excited about that journey, taking that journey with Brother El Kanan Bey. Very excited. He's listening to me now, and I greatly appreciate you, brother. You know, I see freedom. Freedom is near, but it's going to take work, and I know I do. I will continue to criticize conscious Moors. I will not let up on criticizing conscious Moors. I will not let that up. Yes, Brother Hank.
No, there ain't nobody in the.
I know. Yeah, Brother Robert Dean said he's calling him. I'm trying to see what's going on. Yeah, I did talk to the brother 15 minutes prior to our coming on. Brother Robert Dean, we wanted me to get started. Robert Dean, we need to get started. All right, so we'll once again out the website mooresandmasonry.org is strolling across the stream. All right, so what I'll do is I'll wait as he comes. I'll present a short lesson. Today I did a Facebook Live on pages 37 to 39 of my book, How Our Venus and Moon Rule. And that deals with the. All right, he's coming in right now. All right. So we're presenting to you our guest presenter today, Brother Khalil Ali. Is he there, Hank? Brother Khalil Ali Allah. Is he in the show? I mean, in the backstage, Hank. He should be backstage. Was he having trouble? They had trouble getting on. All right, so he should be on the backstage. Do you see him backstage, Hank?
I'll let you know, brother Abdullah. Ain't nobody back there but a ghost.
Yeah, he just
So
all right.
listen, you gotta give
Robert Dean
somebody.
is not backstage.
He's not
Did he click?
backstage. He ain't there. So give them a program or a lesson because you got 20 minutes in, and he ain't on stage. So go ahead and
Yeah,
perform,
let me work on yes.
share, educate until he does show up.
All
Because he
right,
ain't there.
I'll definitely do that. All right, so here we go. Now, as I said that I did a live today on my Facebook page, Abdullah Bey, on pages 37 to 39 of the How Our Venus and Moon Rule, and it deals with the satanic statue, the 9 feet tall satanic statue of the Satanic Temple. Yeah, the statue is it's 9 feet tall. and it's the face, of a goat, what they refer to as the Baphomet. We have the five-pointed star the is carved within the forehead. You have the arms, the legs are crossed. The legs are crossed. You have the crescent moon. So what I do is I analyze each part of the statue. One, so what the Europeans have done is have distorted our ancient culture. The goat. The goat is a symbol, ancient symbol of fertility, fecundity, power, representing woman, denoting the moon calendar. All right, here we go. Our brother Khalil, bring your camera on. Put your camera on, brother Khalil. You have to hit the camera. I can't hear you. Brother Khalil. Your volume is off. Is it off? No, it's not off. Hold on. I can't hear you. Do you hear him, Hank? Brother Khalil, go back out. All right, we have to get. All right, you have to go back out, brother. I can't. All right, so the night is the goat is the ancient symbol of fertility, representing the moon and the moon phases. The word mensis, menstruation, means moon, and so the Europeans have the concept of what the Europeans have done, because the solar calendars are also ours. So what the Europeans have done was elevated the solar calendar. So that's Jesus. Jesus is the sun, S-U-N. And then they distorted the moon calendar, because why? And refer to anything that's associated with the moon and women. The Europeans have presented it as evil. Now, why did they do that? It's not that they hate women. It's understanding that this ancient matrilineal system, that power title, is passed down to the mother line of the family. So to supplant that ancient system, ancient matrilineal system, and also the divine power of woman, they distorted anything that was associated with woman, i.e. the word sin, the Sumerian name, sin, the modern name, English name, moon, the goat, which is an ancient symbol of fertility, denoting the lunar calendar. The Europeans distorted that and misrepresented it as the devil and the cause of the world's evil. The number 13, the word Friday the 13th, a movie where the main character is a killer, Jason. but I couldn't hear him. Is it? I might have to go back out because I could barely. He can hear me, but I couldn't. He has to come back on. So the Friday the 13th has been misrepresented as unlucky. Well, the Friday is Freya, day of Venus. Day of Freya is the Old Norse goddess of fertility, denoting the planet Venus. The fertility connection with the planet Venus is tied to the heliacal rising of Venus, which brings about the raining season. Heliacal rising of Venus is between mid-March and mid-April. You have the Mayan calendar, which is the Venetian calendar, Venus calendar. So that's where the fertility connection, because the raining season is needed for agriculture and the corn maze to grow. That's where that fertility connection, the number 13, deals with the 13 moon cycles. The moon revolves around the earth 28 days and 13 times in a year. So anything that was associated with woman was misrepresented as evil. The horns, that's the donate the lunar calendar, the moon calendar. And anything associated with woman was misrepresented as evil. Not that they hate, not because they hate women, was to supplant the ancient matrilineal system where power, title, sovereign power passed down to the motherline of the family. So they had to supplant that system was to bring a perpetual of unconsciousness, a low level of thinking, a low understanding the power, the divine power of women, and that women can bring in those from a higher dimension. So understanding that, by knowing the divine, having knowledge of the divine power of woman, we have to disrupt that power. We have to disrupt that power of women being able to connect with the divine and being able to deal with a higher frequency, be able to bring in beings from a higher frequency. So we have to disrupt that. So now the women are bringing in beings from lower vibration, lower frequency. So we got to know the science and know why they're doing it. It's not hate. It's not hate. All right. When you say it's hate, that implies that the Europeans are doing it out of mere ignorance. They're not doing it out of mere ignorance. They're doing it from a knowledge perspective of knowing the ancient matrilineal system and the divine power of women. They're not a bunch of dumb men. Don't view these European males as being stupid. Not bummed up. They're not rooting for being stupid. So we got to come to this knowledge. And I said before, our brothers and sisters do not wear symbols. They do not wear symbols on hats. They do not wear symbols on jackets. They do not wear symbols on necklaces and bracelets and but symbols. They're not symbols. They're measurement tools and devices. All right. I draw a picture of a bike. Now, you won't call like a symbol, I draw a picture of a 12-inch ruler. A picture, just a picture. Would you refer to even the picture of a 12-inch ruler as a symbol? No, you would not. You say it's a picture of a 12-inch ruler. You're not going to refer to even a picture of a 12-inch ruler as a symbol. Why not? Because you have knowledge of its function. So what's in your mind when you even looking at a picture of a 12-inch ruler is the application, because you've used it or you've seen others use it. The reason why our brothers and sisters, Masons and stars, refer to measurement tools and devices as symbols, because they've been orientated to do such, and they're not taught the mathematical and astronomical function of them. So therefore, they refer to them Masonic symbols. And thanks to Elkanan Bey, who did a thorough job last week in giving us the math along with the astronomy. We need the math. You cannot teach astronomy. You cannot teach. I've said this to Elkanan 6 years ago. You cannot effectively teach astronomy without math. It ain't happening, because you cannot chart anything without the knowledge of math. We're talking about the application. There's no application of astronomy outside the math. And this is why I wanted him to spend a great time with the math, because you cannot teach astronomy without math. Are we talking rulership? All right. You cannot bring these people back into rulership. You cannot bring them back into governance, self-governance. We're talking self-governance. Because without the knowledge of math, we cannot govern ourselves. We're going to need China. China, please, China. Please, China, do these calculations for us, China. China, please. Do this you ain't governing yourselves. You're depending on China or Japan. Japan, please. So we're talking self-governance. You need the math. So this is why I wanted him, and I'll continue to encourage Brother Elkanan Bey to put heavy, I'll say it again with this tone, heavy emphasis on the math. Heavy emphasis. If he does an hour or 2 hours of math, which will be great. Why? Because by emphasizing the math, you're going to encourage us, our children, that's an area that we must elevate to for self-governance. So we gotta tie self-governance to it. Right? He's not, he's not talking, well, there's the math. We gotta tie it to self-governance. We gotta tie it to constitutional self-governance. So the presentation must be placed in the construct of the recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty and constitutional self-governance. We must tie that in. So therefore, that's that. So that kills the too much math. It'll kill it's too much math. It'll kill that. I'm saying it can't be taught outside of that. It can't be taught, he's doing the math and he's doing the astronomy. It cannot be taught like that. It must be taught and recovery of lost moral sovereignty, preparing our people for self-governance. The self-governance must be the emphasis. The recovery of lost moral sovereignty, repairing our people, restoring the knowledge of the rule of law and self-governance must be the emphasis. It just can't be he's teaching astronomy and math. It must be he's repairing our people for self-governance. That will kill. It's too much math. It has to be taught that way. Not by the way he's teaching math and astronomy. No. He's preparing our people for self-governance. This is very important. The proper orientation matters. It's all in the orientation. Otherwise, we're going to be dependent. We don't want to be dependent. So we have to elevate in giving a proper orientation to measurement tools and devices misrepresented as Masonic symbols. The Eastern Star. Why Eastern? Eastern Star. What does Eastern have to do with stars? Because stars rise in the east. So let's see the proper orientation. Why not Western Star? Why is it not called Western Star? The star set in the west. So you have the background of stars are fixed. So it's apparent rising. So you have the cycles. The cycle of Orion, Pleiades, which is it's rising, it's culmination, it's setting. Orion, Sirius, Venus, it's rising, it's culmination, it's setting. January 1st is the culmination of Sirius. As El-Kanan put it so well, there's no new, the word new is not associated with January 1st. There's nothing new. There's no new cycle that occurs on January 1st. It's not Abdullah Bey said anything. There's no new astronomical cycle. No new cycle that occurs on January 1st. Sirius is what? In the midheaven. Will be in the midheaven. Sirius begins her cycle on July 4th. It's called the helical rising of Sirius. That's the beginning or birth of Sirius, was known as the helical rising. And it reaches its climax, or it's in the midheaven on January 1st. And so begins to set. It's in what they call the duat, or behind the sun. It'll be behind the sun for a period of 70 days, or it's called the duat, or behind the sun, or the underworld. So Sirius will be in the underworld, what that means astronomically, behind the sun, and will not be seen for a period of 7 days. So it'll be 70 days. But there is something new. There is a new cycle Near January 1st, as Elkanah put it, near January 1st, there is a new cycle. It's December 25th. It's Christmas. Christmas, the birth of Jesus, the birth of the Son, S-U-N. That's the new cycle. As Elkanah showed on the sunrise and sunset chart. The new cycle. Where you're moving from a transitioning from days getting shorter all throughout July and August, September, October, November, first week of December, the second week of December, third week of December. So you got this transitioning period. The sun is at its lowest point of declination. Why? What's happening? Because now you're looking at a transitional period where days will be moving, transitioning from days getting shorter to what? Days getting longer. The shortest day of the year, December 21st. The lowest, the point is, it's the point where the sun is at its lowest southerly point. They say, so you have a transitional period where days are they've gotten shorter and days begin to get longer. That has already begun. Looking at the sunrise sunset chart, you will see that it will be a 10 to 12 minute increase in the day. So that's the new cycle, but there's no new cycle that occurs on January 1st. You're past the new cycle. You're past the resurrection. The resurrection of Jesus is the Christmas. Christmas is the resurrection of Jesus. Easter, all right. Easter is not the resurrection of Jesus. Easter is what? The heliacal rising of Venus. Easter is Venus, Astarte, Ishtar. Easter is Venus, which is between mid-March and mid-April. The vernal equinox is not Easter. The vernal equinox is not the resurrection of the sun. The resurrection of the sun is Christmas. The sun is not resurrected. The sun is not resurrected on March 21st. It's not the resurrection of the sun takes place 3 months early, December 25th. Found it 23rd, 24th. That's the resurrection. All right. The vernal equinox is not the resurrection of the sun. The sun leaves the Tropic of Capricorn and enters the Tropic of Cancer. But that's not the resurrection of the sun. Let's talk astronomically. Speaking astronomically. Someone explain to me astronomically that the vernal equinox is the resurrection of the sun. It's not. The sun dies on December 21st. That's the winter solstice, the lowest point, the most southerly point of the sun. There's a transitional period. Hovers for 3 days. The days begin to get longer. On December 23rd or 4th, that's the resurrection of the sun. The vernal equinox is where the sun crosses the equator. But there's already been resurrected because you at that point of the vernal equinox, you have equal day, equal night. So prior to the vernal equinox, the sun, the days, every 7 days, there's a 10 to 12 minute increase in the day. So by the time you get to the vernal equinox, which is March 21st, there's been 3 months. 3 months have gone by where the days have gotten longer. So there's equal day, equal night. A period of what, 12 hours and 30 minutes of daylight and 11 hours and some change of, so it won't be 12 and 12. It'll be 12 hours and 20 minutes or something like that, and 11 hours and some change, 40 minutes. But that's not the resurrection of the sun. Think astronomically. Think astronomically. Once I started thinking astronomically, so, oh, shucks. Easter's not the resurrection. March 21st is not the resurrected sun. I mean, it's not resurrected. It's already 12 hours. It's 12 hours a day, some change, 12 hours. It's already the resurrection of the sun is December 23rd or 24th, 25th. That's the resurrection of the sun, because that's the daytime period where days begin to get longer. Think astronomically. I know we've been stripped. Inquisition, that's the Inquisition. The Inquisition against the Moors was stripping us. The Moors brought enlightenment, the age of enlightenment, which is the Renaissance. The Renaissance, age of enlightenment is synonymous. We brought mathematics and astronomy and calculus and medicine, and botany and horticulture all throughout Europe. So it's to put the Moors in the age of darkness that Europe was in prior to the Moors, prior to the Moorish Renaissance. The Europeans was to put us into that age, in that period of darkness, mental darkness that they were in, but prior to our civilizing them. So it was done by force, the killings, taking us away from our parents, stripping us of every aspect of Moorish national character. Every aspect. We've been stripped of every aspect of Moorish national character. United States did not do that to the natives of Hawaii. United States did not strip the native people of Hawaii of every aspect of Hawaiian national character. So they can't relate to us. The native people of Hawaii can't relate to us. Like, if you were to, those people over there, they think they're black, and so you gotta, tell them that they're not black. And what do you mean I am black? But see, y'all don't have that problem over here. I mean, I know that you've lost your sovereignty. Yes, y'all are subjugated. United States has been subjugating y'all since 1893. I'm aware of that. Yes, y'all have. Y'all been subjugated on it, but the United States has allowed y'all to maintain the knowledge of who you are. United States has allowed y'all to maintain the knowledge of your history. You do know about what happened to your queen in 1893. United States allows you to maintain your language and the dances and the festivals. Yes, United States did not strip y'all of every aspect of Hawaiian national characteristics, like the French did us, like Spaniards did us, like the Portuguese did us, like the Dutch did us. United States, we were handed over to United States already crippled. United States did not cripple us. Hear me out, my brothers and sisters. United States did not cripple us. We were handed over by the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the French, the Dutch, the English, already crippled. The Inquisition against the Moors, we were already crippled. United States maintained the crippling us in the United States did not put us in a crippling state. The United States maintained us in the crippling state. We got to articulate this to world court. We got to be clear on our argument in world court. The United States did not cripple us. The United States maintained the crippling state that Spain, the Spanish crown, the Portuguese crown, the Dutch, the English, the Spaniards put us in. They maintained it. They did not put us in the crippling state. So we bring the charge on the United States, but not the charge of putting us in the crippling state where we'll lose. We will lose. We cannot charge the United States for putting us in the crippled state. You charge the United States for maintaining the crippled state that Spain and France and England and Portugal put us in. We must be clear on the history. That's just spewing off at the mouth. United States, 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 United States. What about Portugal? What about France? You know about Code Noir of 1685? Code Noir of 1685. That's the French. The French applied Code Noir in the Caribbean in 1685. The Code Noir, N-O-I-R, of 1724 was applied in the, what? The French zone known as the Louisiana Territory. Louisiana, King Louis XIV, named in 1685, King Louis XIV. Where's the United States? Oh, in 1865, all of the member states in the Union of the United States adopted the 1724 French Code Noir. So what? It was already initiated. It was initiated by France, not the United States. United States adopted it and maintained the crippling state. It's clear. I've said this over the years, that Europeans are not taught European history in the schools. Man, that brother Hank, these Afrocentric folks, why do you have that fool on? Afrocentric folks will call me a fool. I know. Of course they would. That's because they would call me a fool, which I won't be mad at them. It's a lack of study. It's a lack of study because they would not call me a fool if they studied. It's a lack of study. European history is not taught in the schools. All right, so the Moorish Renaissance in Europe's taught in the schools. They teach in the schools that people that look like me taught Europeans in Europe. They teach in the schools that people that look like me taught Europeans how to bathe. They teach in the schools that people that look like me taught Europeans how to read. They teach in the schools that people that look like me nurse Europeans back to health using botany and herbology, had eye surgery, and wrote medical theses. They teach people that they don't. So if they're teaching in the schools that people that look like Donald Trump taught people that look like Joe Biden in Europe, then that's not European history. If you learn in schools that people that look like Donald Trump taught people that look like Joe Biden to bathe, that's not European history. That's a lie. If you learn in schools that people that look like Donald Trump taught people that look like Joe Biden botany, herbology, that's a lie. That's not European history. Because people that look like Donald Trump did not do that. We did. My Afrocentric brothers and sisters, are you clear on what I mean? That Europeans are not taught, European history is not taught in the schools. Because that's not taught, that we raised them up, civilized them, then that's European history. I'm teaching European history. That's European, that's their history. We're the center of their history. Their history don't exist outside of us. There ain't no European history outside of us. Doesn't exist. It's a lie. They're covering up who we are. They're covering it up. They're lying. They're taking credit for what we did. Europeans should have pictures that look like me. Every European should have a picture that looks like me in their house. We should be in their altar. Every European should have an altar, and somebody that looks like me should be has a picture in their altar that look like me. I'm talking real talk. Because I know the history. We must stand with strong knowledge of who we are. We're not going to let Europeans tell us who we are. Because if you don't know who we are, and you are that, if they have to tell you who you are, that's subjugation. That is subjugation. We're going to tell Europeans who they are. Europeans are not going to tell us who we are. We're going to tell Europeans who we are, and we're going to tell Europeans who they are. We got to reverse this. We must increase our knowledge. We have a subordinate mind because we lack knowledge of who we are. We got to position ourselves to be able to tell Europeans who we are and tell them who they are. Talk to me, my brothers and sisters. Talk to me. You must increase our knowledge of who we are. But right now, well, Europeans are not telling us who we are. So that's right now they're not. So Europeans are not telling us who we are. Because they say we're black, so that's not who we are. So that they're not telling us who we are. Europeans are not telling us who they are. Because we're their teachers. We're their civilizers. Of course, they're not even telling their people who we are. They're not even telling their people who they are. All right, so it's important that we put the history in proper perspective so that we can politically and economically empower our people by organizing us into political structure, teaching our people to operate in political structure. Let me explain. The French, let's say the Nigerians, the Nigerian citizens who have aspirations to become officials of Nigeria are taught how to function within the Nigerian political structure. So they're taught what? The Nigerian Constitution. And how to function within the Nigerian political structure. Understanding that nationality is connected to sovereignty. There's no teaching nationality outside of sovereignty. So you have conscious Moors raise the Moorish flag. I am sovereign. All right. Will a Chinese raise the Chinese flag and say, I am sovereign? Will a Nigerian raise the Nigerian flag and say, I am sovereign? Will a Senegalese raise the Senegal flag and say, I am sovereign? Will a Russian raise the Russian flag and say, I am sovereign? Will a Japanese raise the Japanese flag and say, I am sovereign? Will a French raise the French flag and say, I am sovereign? No. France is sovereign. Nigeria is sovereign. Let's talk to me. The word people used in a political sense, as in drafted in a constitution. The people of Nigeria drafted in the Nigerian constitution. What does that mean? Doesn't mean the people on the plane, the people in the park are playing. That's used in a general sense. But used in a political sense, what does it mean? What is the application? What is the political application of people drafted in a national constitution, i.e., a Nigerian constitution? The people of Nigeria. People means the repository of the collective sovereignty of the people of Nigeria vested in a Nigerian constitution. Nigeria is the national name. Nigerian is the nationality of the people of Nigeria. How does that apply? The Nigerian constitution protects all Nigerians worldwide. Worldwide. Protects the Nigerian citizens in Nigeria and protects the Nigerian citizens abroad, worldwide. How can that happen? How can the Nigerian constitution extend worldwide? Through their what? Foreign representatives, ambassadors, consul generals, vice consuls, vice consuls, charge d'affaires, to their embassies, the Nigerian embassies, Nigerian consulates. Nigeria negotiates treaties with various nation states to expand her commerce, sending foreign representatives to protect her people. That's how. So that's what that means, the people of Nigeria. Because that ties to the people of Nigeria. And they drafted in Nigerian constitution embodies all Nigerians wherever they are in the world. We must understand the political application. This is very important, my brother. We have to apply the application. Nationality is tied to sovereignty. I'm explaining what that means. I'm giving you the application of this statement. How is nationality tied to sovereignty? Once again, the people, that's how. Because the people, it's the collective sovereignty of the people vested in a constitution, or operating to a political legal system, that be a religious legal system, a customary legal system, a common law legal system, a civil law legal system, or mixed laws legal system, mixture of common law and civil law. You have the form of government. It'd be what? A republic, a monarch, a constitutional monarch. And other a pluralistic, the various political systems. You have the legal systems, you have political systems. So this, we must rise to this knowledge. The rule of law and constitutional self-governance. Very important. So getting back to Brother Al-Kanan Bey, 33rd degree, past Grandmaster, 33rd degree, 97th degree. York's rights. A true Master Mason. Not talking title. Not talking title. Talking knowledge. Not talking he's a Master Mason because of title. I'm calling El-Kanan a Master Mason because of his knowledge. His knowledge. That's what makes El-Kanan a Master Mason, because of his knowledge. I'm a carpenter. Abdullah, fix my door. Aren't you a carpenter? Well, I'll fix my door. I said, but if I don't have the knowledge, am I a carpenter? Mm-hmm. So this is being able to elevate our knowledge. So what is masonry? In the true sense. So we got to remove this facade that there's symbols. This is what we're working and doing. So definitely I want to, like I said, take this time to educate. The opportunity I can do so, I will do so. So this is understanding of who we are. Now, Brother Israel Bey and I are working on I'm actually co-authoring for the first time. I'm very excited. I'm co-authoring 5 books with 5 different people. And I'm so excited I am to be able to co-author 5 books with 5 different, that's Brother Al-Kanan, Brother King Al-Bey, El-Kanan Bey, Brother King Al-Bey, Brother Israel Bey, Brother Quasi Il, and Brother Rahim Abdullah Bey. These are the 5 brothers with which I am co-authoring books. And our books will be out next year. Our brother Israel and I will begin marketing our book as we will do a series of small presentations just to give you all a taste, you know what I mean? And we'll do the first one February 1st on Moorish Monday. So on Moorish Monday, February 1st, Brother Israel and I will do a presentation. We'll just give you all a taste, about 10 to 15 slides. And then we'll be doing that to market. The title of our book is the United States Constitution as the continuation of European conquest and colonization of Moorish lands and the subjugation of the Moors. I'm gonna give it to you again. I put that in the chat, Israel. the Constitution, the United States Constitution, as the continuation of European conquest and colonization of Moorish lands and the subjugation of the Moors. We have our finding of facts. You know we do. You know we have our finding of facts, my brothers. We have receipts. You know that. Any project I'll be a part of, you know we're going to have receipts. You ain't got to ask. You already know. No, we're going to have receipts. You know that. Because what? The conclusions, the claims made from what? Observation of facts. The conclusions are made from examining documentary evidence. So we're going to lay out the receipts to show you that the United States Constitution is the continuation of European colonization and conquest of Moorish lands and the subjugation of the Moors. Follow me, my brothers. Follow me, my brothers and sisters. All right. I invade your home. I invade your home. I hold you in captivity in your house for 10 years, bonded in chains. I release the chains. I draft a constitution. And I say your rights are protected under this constitution. You have the right to travel anywhere you want in your house. Your rights are protected under this constitution. And if you fall for that, you are a fool. If you fall for that, you are a fool. I'm still in your house. Oh, can my rights be protected under this constitution when Abdullah is still in my house? Like, I must keep my... Oh, Abdullah tried to trick me. Abdullah thought I was stupid. Abdullah is in my house. How my rights be protected, but he's in my house though? Abdullah is still dictating to me in my house. What about rights being... No, get out my house, Abdullah. So I'm gonna leave it that. Israel, I won't give him any more. I ain't gonna give him any more. All right. February 1st, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Abdullah Mosi Bey and Brother Israel Bey will be presenting, a little taste, you know what I mean? We want to start marketing a book. We're gonna start marketing a book. And I'm working on 2 books with Brother Quasi. We decided on another book like yesterday morning. So actually 6 books, but 2 with Quasi Ill of Tribe Ujima. So I'm excited. So to be able to co-author those who I've taught, I'm greatly appreciated. I'm just thrilled, thrilled, and so it's an honor to be able to work with them on these projects. It's an honor, definitely. So I greatly appreciate you, brothers. I know you're listening, right? And it's an honor to be able to work with you. So continue right along and moving our people into proper concepts and understanding So since January 1st is coming up, what I did last year on Magnets Crystals Pyramid YouTube, and Brother El Kanan did a wonderful job and breaking down the astronomy and math for Christmas. I've never been able, I've never seen it presented that way, nor do I have the knowledge to present it in that manner because I don't know the math like that. So I greatly appreciate Brother El Kanan Bey. Now, why is January 1st referred to as the New Year? Well, how did that come about? How did it come about that January 1st has come to be known throughout the world as the New Year? Well, through royal decree, a royal decree in the 1700s, 1754, in England, and that spread it to out Europe, where March 21st, the vernal equinox, the knowledge of the vernal equinox was well known, practiced, observed, well known. So why is it no longer known as the New Year? Because it is, that there. So there is a where that you're looking at the start of spring. The sun leaves the Tropic of Capricorn, crosses the equator at the point of the vernal equinox, leaving the Tropic of Capricorn, entering the Tropic of Cancer, crossing the New Year. There's 2 points where the sun crosses the equator, at the vernal equinox on March 21st and at the autumnal equinox on September 23rd. Those are 2 points, and this was charted through the knowledge of math and astronomy. Our ancestors charted the equinoctial points, the two extreme points, the extreme points of the sun's outer limits, and the solstitial points. The solstitial points, the two extreme points, or extreme outer limits of the sun's path. The equinoctial points, the point where the sun crosses the equator. Our ancestors charted this with the knowledge of math and astronomy. So this is well known. So why has it come to be known? Well, this was done through force, through a set of royal decrees. And those who continue to celebrate, to acknowledge the astronomical, mathematical, agricultural New Year, all right, March 21st, they were called fools. Hence, April Fool's Day. So we won't be celebrating that. We don't celebrate. The other ones, yes, but we won't be celebrating April Fool's Day. There's no celebration of April Fool's Day. That's a bad day to celebrate because that's mocking. You're mocking those who still honored and recognize the March 21st, who recognize the agricultural, the astronomical, the mathematical New Year, March 21st. So you don't want to mock that, do you? You don't want to mock that, right? You don't want to celebrate April 1st, right? You'd be mocking that, right? You don't want to mock that. So this is moving people away. This is for control. This is talking about massive control. Massive control that is still going on today. This is major, my brothers and sisters, major. So I said before, January 1st is where Sirius is in the midheaven. So Sirius is in the highest point in the sky and then begins to set. January 20th. So you have Donald Trump will receive that energy on January 20th. January 20th is where Sirius is in the night sky the longest. Now, why did the United States choose January 20th as the United States presidential inauguration day? Because they didn't begin with that. January 20th was not they didn't start with January 20th as their presidential inauguration day. Prior to 1932, the United States, every 4 years, the United States presidential inauguration was on different days. Abdullah, why was the United States presidential inauguration on different days? Because it was charted by the helical rising of Sirius. The presidential inauguration was charted, the date, determination of the date of the United States presidential inauguration was charted by Venus, of Sirius, Venus, which is Easter, Astarte, Ishtar. But Venus is not fixed. The helical rising of Venus is between mid-March and mid-April. It's not fixed. That's why it was on different days every 4 years, because Venus is not fixed. So they wanted to have a fixed day. It wasn't arbitrarily chosen. Eeny, meeny, mighty, mo, catch it. All right. They looked at Sirius, the blazing star. The blazing star, Albert Pike calls it the blazing star, and more the Sirius is known as the blazing star in Masonic circles. In the book, in Albert Pike's book, Morals and Dharma, Sirius is known as the blazing star. So Albert Pike had a lot to do with Sirius being deciding on, being the star used to chart and to determine the day of the United States presidential inauguration. January 20th is where Sirius is in the night sky the longest. This would empower us, not as individuals. We must operate in political structure. We must teach in structure. We must teach and prepare the people to organize in Moorish government structure. This loose teaching, it's not going to get it done. This loosey-goosey, that's not going to get it done. There's no power in that. No power in that. I came to, I said, so I have the stage, I'm going to teach. So Sirius, January 20th, Sirius is the night sky the longest. So the Europeans set different ceremonies regarding, to harness the energy. There's no European culture. It doesn't exist. Like Eurocentric thought, what does that mean? Like, what is Eurocentric thought? Like, really, what is because I hear these Afrocentric folks just throw these words out, just European history or European culture that doesn't exist, and this though they're called white man culture, it doesn't exist, and and only white people history is taught in the schools, which is not at all taught in the schools. It's just the misconceptions coming from the Afrocentric folks. It's just and I just started analyzing, and I apologize that I analyze everything, but I have to. I just started analyzing because it's etymology has done it for me. I became obsessed. I became obsessed. Wanted to know the origin of everything, of phrases, of folklores, of holidays. I just wanted to know the origin of everything. What's the origin of this? Origin of this word? Origin of holidays? Origin of folklores? Origin of this? Allegories? Origin of mythology? I was just obsessed What's the origin of origin? That's origin was like that was reign in my mind every second of the day. Origin. So etymology, blame Professor Burton, my man. Professor Burton, my etymology professor, who since has transitioned. He's one of my ancestors. And I greatly appreciate. Professor Burton would challenge me, and I wanted him to continue. I wanted him to do that. Because I wanted to get better. And he would always challenge me to be the best that I can be. Always challenge me. So he would quiz me, and I remember being nervous, man. I would be in Professor Burton's presence, and man, that was one of the other things that, man, I had to, because he would Professor Burton would ask me questions in front of other people. Like, we would be at Temple University, Anderson Hall, Temple University here in Philadelphia, Anderson Hall, and we would be in front of vendors just before class. And my class was on Wednesdays, and Professor Burton would come in, and because I'm one of his students, and he's grooming me, and he was that, and I was like, oh man, I gotta be on my QPs and Qs for Burton, ball. Man, I don't be there, man. I don't know the answer, man. I'll be nervous, boy. Oh yes, I will be nervous, boy. I say, damn, man. I say, shucks, Oh yes, but I relish that though. I wanted that. I know everybody's not me, so I know this. I don't expect everybody's not me, so I get it. Everybody's not me, so I get it. That's me. I'm gonna talk to me. I can't. Everybody's not me, But I wanted that because I wanted to get better. So I welcomed the challenge. I welcomed the challenge for him to stump me. I welcomed that because that made me sharp. Made me sharp. Challenged me to be sharp with it. So I needed to express that experience, and I'll be telling more about myself, so that and I do that to present a lesson. So looking at my brothers and sisters who are Afrocentric, looking at, because they're coming with misconceptions. And we talked about what is Eurocentric. What is Eurocentric? Like, that is a Eurocentric perspective. Like, what does that mean? No, that's a lie. They're telling a lie, though. They're not said you're like European. They're telling a lie. See, that's a Eurocentric perspective about history. No, they're covering up. It's not a Eurocentric perspective. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up of a history. It's not a Eurocentric perspective. It's a cover-up. That's what I said. What is a European? So what? They got their perspective of history. No, they're lying. They're covering up. It's not a European perspective. It's a cover-up. It's a lie. Say that. It's not a Europe. It's a lie. It's a cover-up. It's not a European perspective. All right. So what's it? It's a European perspective. So this is the European perspective. The teach in the schools that people that look like Donald Trump spurred the Renaissance in Europe. That's not a European perspective. That's a lie. Stop calling it a European perspective. Calling it a lie or historical cover-up. We got to. We got to identify things for what they are. It's not bullshit. European perspective. European perspective. European perspective. No, it's called a lie. It's called historical cover-up. Ain't no European perspective. Oh, that's why y'all. That's just you just want to use. So you don't want to say lie. You don't want to say historical cover-up. So you want to say European perspective. Hold on. I gotta be politically correct. So I can't say lie or historical cover-up. I can say European perspective. Well, I'm not saying that. Well, you do. You play the. You play that control game. You play that orchestrated control game by them that's politically correct. That they orchestrated that term politically correct and they control you. They control us. They orchestrate terms and construct meanings to control. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. Those who control the meaning of words control the people who must use them. And we're going to free our people. We got to come straight, man. My brothers and sisters. You're going to free them or sit your butt down. You want to tell it like it is or sit your butt down. We can't be tit-tatting and tiptoeing. You know what I mean? They're controlling us with that constructive, politically correct. That's control. Because they're orchestrating the terminology and they're constructing the meaning for it. So then you got to fit into that orchestrated meaning that they construct for it. They will forever control us. As long as we bow and acquiesce to that. I'm not. You can, but I'm not doing it. European perspective. I don't know no European perspective. It's called a lie and historical cover-up. They ain't no European perspective. Like they don't have the information. What did Putin do? Putin released the what? Open up the vaults. But it never was no European perspective. It was a lie and a cover-up. He opened up the vaults. What? They didn't know that? Here's what the people in the Bible look like. Here's the vaults. He opened the vaults. They look like me. It was never a European perspective. It was a cover-up. Putin has showed us that. So it's just, being able to put things in their proper perspective. So we must, and then so I started re-examining my brothers and sisters who claim to be Afrocentric. I started, because I'm analyzing every term, every word, I started and I'm glad I do that. And I said, Professor Burton challenged me to do that. Epistemology is a branch in philosophy of how one knows knowledge, a structured way of thinking. So etymology, which is the history, origin, and true meaning of words, gave me a structured way of thinking that deals with origin. So it fixed my mind. It directed my mind to study the origin, to think about origin. I greatly appreciate that. So so it becomes a way of how I think. This is how I think. It's not. I don't have to think about thinking. I'm serious. I don't have to think about thinking. It's just because I've been doing it for so long. I've read so many books and articles. It just becomes a part of me. So I don't think about thinking. I think about, because I think in terms of origin. I analyze based in terms of origin. So that's a structural way of thinking that I was groomed into, and been what, since 1998. How many years is that? 27. Is that 27 years? Yeah, 27 years. There'll be 27 years, 26 years. Because December was September 1998. So my 27th year etymology. And I've taught over 2,000 adult students at Temple University Pan-African Studies Community Education Program. I started teaching 5 years later, after Professor Burton had transitioned, 2000, in the fall of 2000, September 2003 was my first class at PASSUP as an instructor. And I taught from September 2000, the fall of 2023 to the fall of 2019. And how many years is that? 23, 2019, 2003 to 2019. That's 17 years, 16 years. Come on, Elkanah, I need your help with the math. That's my man, Brother Elkanah Bay. Brother King Al Bay. Brother King Al Bay, very great at teaching legal principles and constitutional self-governance. So definitely greatly appreciate the development, So we're definitely moving towards facilitating a Moorish provisional governing structure. And then I'm looking to do a presentation on the updates since the Moorish Political Unity Conference. So I'll be working on that. I plan to get it done this week, this month. It'll be done on Moorish Monday. I'll do the presentation on Moorish Monday, and I'll have those speakers and keynote speakers with me. And so I will do a presentation. It might be done next month, so I just need time to prepare it. Where we do an update on since the May 18th conference. So from the May 18th conference to now, and then our 6 months plan, all right, from the time of the presentation, and then we look at it, we're going to have a 6 month projection plan. All right, so we'll present the 6 months projection plan moving towards the facilitation of a Moorish provisional governing body. So that'll be a 6 month projection plan. So we're looking at our progress since the Moorish Political Unity Conference, which was May 18th, and then we'll present a 6 month governing projection plan. All right. So we're very serious and focused. And we'll continue. I'll go for another 20 minutes. So we're looking at looking at this, what's coming up January 1st. And out that it's definitely not a new year. And we've already made it, Brother Elkanah did a great job in breaking down what is why is December 25th the birth of Jesus. The Europeans have, there is a book called The 16 Crucified Saviors, And Elkanah made it clear, so in fact, please check that out. His that was done last week, 7 days ago. Moorish Christmas, the astronomy of Christmas and their correlation, the astronomy and mathematics of Christmas and their correlation to Masonry. He did a wonderful job, so definitely check that out. I know Christmas has passed, but we're talking about the knowledge of the astronomy, and the math. So please check that one out. And the other ones he's done, we'll have next week. We'll have one of the panelists of the May 18th conference, Sister Nitra. Sister Nitra, she's associate professor at one of the colleges in Maryland, and she teaches teachers. And so she's going to be talking about where she was prior to coming across my lessons. Associate professor, Sister Nitra, she's actually working on a doctorate, so she'll be a doctor soon. So we'll be calling her Doctor at Nitra, I think Gunji. So we were referring to she's working on her PhD. And so she'll be with us next week. She will be with us next week. When I talked to her 2 months ago, I said, encouraged her to come on and do a lesson. And then she's, transitioning because she's in semester break. So now she has time to prepare the lesson. And so I suggested that she talk about where she was prior to coming across my lessons 3.5 years ago. She came across my lessons via YouTube. And so she studied my lessons via YouTube. She reached out to me in January of this year. And so I suggested that she become part of the Moorish Political Unity Conference. And so she's going to talk about where she was prior to coming across my lessons on YouTube, and her growth and development since then. She actually teaches my lessons in her class. She teaches teachers. That she's an associate professor at one of the colleges, and I'll have that college information. I do have it. I just can't remember it for you next week. So Sister Nitra will be joining us next week. Then the week after that will be part 2 with King Albay. Part 2 of the due process, the key to freedom, part 2. Due process, key to freedom, part 2. Also upcoming, we have a 12-week course. The Moorish, what's it called? The trust and contractual legal safeguards. Trust and Contractual Legal Safeguards. It's a 12-week course beginning on Saturday, March 8th, 299 notes. And that'll go run for, I think, 3 hours for 12 consecutive Saturdays. And so that's going on. And then Elkanah is scheduled to be with us every 4th Monday of the month. So we'll have that series of Masonry, Astronomy, and Math series every 4th Monday of the month with Brother Elkanah Bey, past Grand Master, 33rd degree, 97th degree, York's Rights, the King Solomon Supreme Grand Council. All right, so definitely looking forward to that. Brother Elkanah Bey is building a following, so I encouraged him for 3 months. I was on him. I need the same bad time, same bad channel for you, brother. All right, because you're building your following. And so, as I mentioned, Brother Israel and I will be giving you all a taste of our upcoming book, the United States Constitution as the continuation of European conquest and colonization of Moorish lands and the subjugation of the Moors. We will have receipts. Any project I'll be in, we have receipts. We have the finding of facts, the exhibits. So I'll definitely, we continue just with another lesson. We have Groundhog Day. So let me give you Groundhog Day and Valentine's Day. And we'll see if Al-Kanan may do something, or I may do a presentation. You know what, Israel, I think I will do the second. We'll do the second Monday, and so Israel and I will do the second Monday in February, and I'll do the presentation on Groundhog Day, which is February 2nd. February 2nd. So then we have Valentine's Day, the 14th. So I definitely want to take the opportunity to do the holidays. That's something I do every year. And El-Kanan did Christmas this year. So he did a wonderful job. So there was no need for me to, that's why I didn't do any lives on Christmas. Because El-Kanan, so I actually pushed his presentation. So I didn't do any lives on Christmas. So I always do. So El-Kanan Bey actually did the Christmas presentation and did a wonderful job, better than I've ever done. So I'll do the presentation on Groundhog Day, as I did last year, and I did Valentine's Day as well. I'll just give you just a preview on Groundhog Day. El-Kanan briefly went over this, the concept of the shadow. And so he actually he did a great job in explaining the shadow and determining time. So the shadow mark, because the groundhog seeing a shadow, not seeing a shadow, what does that mean? So we got to look to math. So the timekeeping. So the sun on June 21st, which is the winter solstice, the sun is at its highest point of elevation. So therefore the shadow is long. So the December 21st, the side shadow, the sun is at its lowest point of declination. The shadow is short. So looking at that is the determination of timekeeping based on the length of the shadow. Timekeeping. So the placing the two pillars of Boaz and Joachim, with the checkerboard floor, the black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white. So that's the path, the sun. Then you have light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow. So the checkerboard floor, dealing with measurement, timekeeping. So casts the shadow, all right, off the pillar, marking the winter solstice, and other pillar marking the summer solstice. They're not symbols. There's no symbols. There's no Masonic symbols. No one knows Masonics. Nope. It's just a misorientation. That's all. They're not Masonic symbols. They're not symbols. It's just misorientation because they're not taught the application of it. That's all that is. So brothers don't wear symbols on their jackets. They don't put symbols on their cars. They put measurement tools and devices. They're not symbols. We got to get out of the symbols. How do you do that? Well, that's what we're doing. To get out of it. If I say we got to get out of it, I know we're not. My saying that means nothing. My saying we got to get out of the symbols, I know that doesn't. I know better than that. I know better than that. That's saying we got to get out of symbols not going to change anything. I know that. You have to facilitate education. So I'm a practical thinker. So I'm a practical thinker. We just you got to facilitate that through education. That's how we get out of it. Right. So so in teaching Groundhog Day, you start there with that concept of shadow, the shadow, and measuring, determining the length of a tree. You measure the shadow that it casts. See, once again, shadow and measurement, the depth of an ocean. So you use what? Plane trigonometry. See that? Plane trigonometry to determine the length of a tree. See the math? It can't be done without math. It can't be explained without the math. You explain it with the math. The math. The mathematical formula. You see it. The people who have knowledge of that, they know what it is. You talk the math. So we need the math so that Elkanon does a great job because he gives us the application of it. It's not that he's just giving us a bunch of talk about math and he's giving us the application. When I was in high school, freshman in high school, we would often ask, and I was went to a school predominantly of Europeans, not at that time, so was only Asiatic in the classroom, only more in the classroom. And so I got, I said I was used to that. 4 years of high school, and of course 4 years of college, and 2 years. I didn't go to Asiatic high school. I didn't go to Asiatic college or graduate school. They would, so I was being only European, more in the classroom, or 2 or 3 of us. So I was used to that. As we talking about 8 straight years of that. So we would ask our algebra teacher, freshman algebra class, why do we got to learn algebra? I mean, that's a fair question. I mean, we never got the answer. Well, we've got to learn it. You know what I mean? Well, no. Well, so there was never any application. We were never taught application of algebra. We were, there's just formulas and, doing this, solving for the equations, but there was no application. The solving equation, you put on left side, what you do on the right side, you do on the left side, but there was no application. Just, learning how to solve the equations. But what did you use it for? That's not taught. Like, what did you use it for? So Elkanon is teaching us what we use it for. And so that's why it's all in the presentation. So this is and so if we put the emphasis and teach on what it's used for, and then also coupled with preparing our people for constitutional self-governance, to inspire the children, because there'll be the children who actually will, be instructed in the math and grow into the knowledge of the math and astronomy and its application. So that that way we adults will direct our children to do that. So I'm gonna end here. I want to thank you. Thank you for riding with me today. I did some justice here. Once again, to get my books, go to mooresandmasonry.org for Moors and Masonry Part 1, Moors and Masonry Part 2, How Her Venus and Moon Rule, Etymology and Vocabulary, the Masonic Compass Square and the Connection to Measurement Timekeeping, Illuminati and Illumination of the Mind. Go to mooresandmasonry.org. I want to always give a shout out to Brother Hank for his encouragement and support for over a year now, and reaching out to me in November of last year, and opening this platform, offering this platform for me. And so I'll see you next week with Sister Nitra. Sister Nitra, associate professor, she'll be a doctor soon. All right. And then she'll be talking about her experience of her growth and development and studying my lessons and teaching my lessons, my etymology lessons, to her students who are actually teachers. So she actually teaches teachers. Right. So thank you, everyone, again. Thank you. So until next week, peace, everyone.